anxiety looks like and depression looks like. And
Yeah.
so how do you explain that to your friends or family that don't relate to that?
Yeah. I think it can look like so many different things for people just because we're all so different and our experiences are different. I know for me, anxiety kind of manifests with a lot of physical responses, right? My heart rate starts going crazy. I'm sure my blood pressure is at an unhealthy level and I can just feel it inside. I get hot. So just dealing with those symptoms and explaining to people like what you're going through and what you're experiencing and so they can better understand. Yeah. Do you have a certain symptom you experience with your depression physically or?
It's just a general slowing.
Yeah.
And it's just like you've been just snared. When I'm in a really dark place, I'm just so trapped in that darkness. And no matter how much I'm like journaling gratitude or just I'll speak my gratitude, but it just doesn't lift.
Yeah.
And it's just ineffable. You can't explain these things to people that don't. It's like explaining snow to somebody that's never left
seen it before. Yeah.
Like it's magical, but with mental illness.
Yeah.
Like,
not as magical.
it's unimaginable.
Yeah.
Until you're walking through it or you're stuck in it.
Yeah. That would be so hard too, to find hope or feel hope in those situations, right? When you're like doing the things and you're trying to do things to release yourself from that and it's just not leaving.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I know I usually give myself time. Like I would never speak it to anyone around me because if I am dealing with like when my depression comes on, I'll withdraw a little bit, but it's like sneaky at first.
Yeah.
Like my denial. If maybe everybody notices it before me. Oh,
probably.
Boy, here she goes.
You're like, I'm so slick. I'm so good at this.
But I'm probably not.
I love it.
But it's like this flow. It just like creeps in the door on a scary movie that.
Yep.
And then next thing you're just like trapped in it.
Yeah. That's scary though. Yeah. Do you feel like, I don't know, like time or like what for you, like you're journaling, you're doing the things to try and release yourself from those emotions, but is there anything in particular that has been the most helpful or?
Right. And I'll hit that point. There's sometimes I just need a day in bed. I've never spent weeks in bed. It's never been that bad. I had a day in bed like 2 weeks ago. And if I find myself in bed every day, then I need to go like really address that.
Yeah. Do something about it.
Yeah. And then it usually will pass though. It's like that with anxiety. But for me, like with my depression, I feel like it hits ahead. And then when I finally just allow myself to cry and be in those feelings, like really just be in the awfulness of it.
Yeah.
That it peaks and then it gets slowly starts getting a little brighter and reality and like that gratitude I've been speaking will just start to take hold again.
Yeah.
But it's like a slow burn in and out.
That makes sense.
But it feels so slow as it's peaking. It just feels so awful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It sucks though. You have to sit with it if you want it to go away. Like a lot of people, it's so much easier to like avoid it and run away from it because it's scary. But unless you really allow yourself to feel those emotions and sit with it, it's not going to go anywhere. And I hate that.
Yeah.
But it's just the way it is.
That's been just taken so many years for me to not run from those feelings and just to be with them.
Yeah.
And when I'm with them, they pass so much quicker than when I'm like running away from them. It's just this whole
real thing.
Game of cat and mouse.
Yeah.
But if I'm just like there and I just eat the mouse, then it's gone pretty quick.
That's good.
Yeah.
Do you feel like, I don't know, did you spend a lot of years like running and avoiding those things? Do you feel like when you did have to face them, do you think that it's so much harder? Do you think it piled up like with all the years of running? Yeah.
Yeah.
It makes it more intense, I feel like.
I was telling you earlier, I've never been on antidepressants, but I was on seizure medication in 10 years. And I was really emotionally flatlined during that time. So when I got off of it, I felt like I had the emotional capacity of a 3-year-old. And then really having to mourn like so many things I went through because that's like a good chunk of time. I had all of this like mourning that I needed to process.
Yeah.
So it was just like this like 5-car pile up of processing to do
Mhm.
that was super messy because I hadn't processed
Yeah,
for so long. And that was pretty gnarly.
difficult. I feel like too, in certain situations, like when I've gone through just like different things or like traumatic experiences, like sometimes I feel like maybe my body's not ready to process, right?
Yeah.
So like I don't know, are just like still operating in that fight or flight, or you're just not ready to deal with those emotions. And then when things calm down, when they finally hit, it just hits so hard.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it could be years later, but if you've never processed it, it's still going to hit.
Oh, it'll come.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's so fun.
But
It's
you
so
don't know
fun.
when.
Yeah. Surprise.
Take you out right now.
I'm back.